This is what they don't tell you about living alone. The unglamorous inconvenience. Oh god, this is so annoying. Oh, you have a bee problem, so now they're fixing it. The weight of making all decisions yourself, the loneliness that comes with it.
I feel like I'm getting ripped out of my home.
Grab your tea and let's talk about it. The hidden challenges that you unfortunately face. No one warns you about the fact that every single decision that you now, oh my god, the hidden challenges of living alone. No one tells you that every single decision, no matter how big or how small, now officially falls on you. The amazing part about living with roommates or living with parents is that there were responsibilities that you could divide, but now that you live alone, all of these burdens now fall on you and it's up to you to fix it. So maybe, I don't know, you lose your keys within the first week of moving into your brand new apartment that is out of the state. So you couldn't give your friend a spare key because it's not like she can just easily run over from Brooklyn to Jersey to give you this key. I've already managed to lose all of my keys. I'm not even mad. I feel very numb to the situation because it's just always one thing after the other. Maybe you have a bee infestation and you now have to let your building know that bees are constantly getting into your apartment and you're worried that you might be stung. The most recent problem that I'm facing, you guys, is that I have a bee problem. My building management was just here taking a look. I don't think they took me serious when I was like, oh, I have a bee problem. And then they came and they saw and they were like, oh, you have a bee problem. So now they're fixing it. Or maybe it's really hot in your apartment and you have no one to help you insert your AC unit. So they're supposed to be coming to fix it. Oh god, this is so annoying. It just feels like I'm so close and it just, I need to just be patient. We're almost there, but no one also tells you about the unpredictable loneliness that comes with living on your own. There are so many bright sides of living on your own and we will definitely get to that, but unfortunately there are times when you do get lonely and you have no one to go out and party with. It could be the Tuesday nights when you're feeling sick and you have no one there to help you make you soup, or even if you have a migraine and you would just love someone to hand you a Midol or an Aleve to help with the pain. It's on you to get out of bed and to figure it out. But not only the loneliness comes when in your apartment, the loneliness can come also when you are walking around the city as well. New York is a huge city. I'm pretty sure we have like 8 million people living within the Metroplex or Manhattan alone. I don't know the stats, someone check on it for me. But for a city that is so big and that is so crowded with people, it can honestly make you feel really lonely. And it's up to you to get out of your house and get yourself out of this lonely feeling. You are ultimately a one-person army for everything. Like I said, it is up to you to fix all the problems that are happening in your apartment. It is up to you to get yourself up every single day and go to the gym because no one is holding you accountable. It is up to you to make these little decisions in your life, and you have no one there watching you or judging you. I chose to live in such a small apartment in a big city by myself. I think I've mentioned this before, but I ultimately believe that I am going through a transitional period in life, and I call that period shedding, where I am getting rid of things that just no longer serve me, that no longer have purpose to me, to make room for bigger things and bigger opportunities that are to come. If you don't know, but hopefully most of you have seen my apartment horror story series. I used to live in a big 800 square foot apartment, and though it was a beautiful apartment, it came with a lot of struggles, like a crazy ass landlord. And being in that apartment, I was there for about 1.5 years, and trust me, I loved every second of it, but it just made me realize that I don't need that much space. Why am I paying all this money for an apartment that, number one, I'm fighting with the person who actually owns it like every day. I'm paying her all this money and she does not give a crap about me. And number two, I'm literally never home. So why am I wasting my money going to someone who's not a good person when I could find something smaller that I'm just here to lay my head and save so much money in the process? And I mean, don't get me wrong, I have definitely created an oasis in this space and I love my little tiny space. So this has been overall a better move for me, and I appreciate the tiny living because this tiny space helps me to create a big life. A life of adventure, a life of experiences where I don't need to be confined within the four walls. I can go out and hang with friends and don't have to worry about money and create new experiences and memories where I wouldn't be necessarily able to if I was paying all this money to go to rent. You guys, bear with me on the lighting. We're struggling while creating this video. Another obstacle that we deal with when solo. But we are getting through this, and if I look down, it's because I have notes for you guys, and it's hot. Anyway, I am really going through a movement where I am embracing this tiny intentional living. I'm looking at purpose over possessions, and I rather have purpose in my life than me trying to figure out how to fill up a big space with just material items. My home is a comforting place, but it is not a place to hide from the world. And unfortunately, when living alone, that can be something that is really easy to do. To hide, to be really comfortable in these four walls. But something I challenge you is to go out and embrace the world and create experiences and new memories. The unexpected joys of living on your own is that you are able to create your own freedom. And one of my favorite things about living alone, or something that I've learned about myself living alone, is that it's helped me to really dig deeper and to figure out who I am, my characteristics, what I like about myself, what I don't necessarily like about myself, and how I can change that and fix that and make myself a better person. Since living alone, I've made it a mission to really work on myself, and I have noticed drastic difference in the past 2 years, honestly. It's ultimately up to you to face these experiences, and it honestly can be extremely empowering. I face many obstacles when I'm living alone. It's empowering to see the things that I'm able to put myself through, get myself through, and see myself on the other side. And I'm able to look back and be like, man, that was hard, that was rough, but I did it, I made it out, and now I'm a stronger person, and now I feel like I can take on literally anything at this point. Living alone is truly a journey of self-discovery. With the negativity, there also lives positivity amongst the madness and the chaos of it all. And don't take living alone about living in isolation. It's about solitude. It's about connecting with yourself. It's about hearing, actually hearing and listening to yourself and understanding who you are and what makes you you. But it's also really important to have community. And I feel like living alone not only makes you value your space in these four walls, but it also makes you value your space within the world as well, because you really start to understand how people truly make you feel. When you go out and leave your house and give someone your time, that is a commitment, and it's a huge commitment nowadays. So you really start to value the people that really make you feel whole, and you really understand the people that don't make you feel so good and you don't necessarily want to give or commit your time towards them. Living alone is truly about stripping away the person who lives on the surface level and becoming the person that lives with intention and with purpose. And you do that all by discovering yourself, hearing yourself, listening to yourself, being kind to yourself, and finding that in the solitude of it all. I'm very thankful for the roommates that I had in the past, and for the experience I had in creating communities in that way. But I truly think that everyone should be able to live on their own and create a space that feels like their oasis, feels like their home, and is unapologetically themselves. And when you step into this space, you grow as a person. So when you step out, the world is able to get a piece that they're missing, which is you. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope the footage came out because it was a struggle boat trying to film this. Just add that on the list for living alone. But I encourage you to take this journey with me, and we will see you on the next episode of the Tiny Intentional Living series. See ya.